Most of all, though, they were looking for any sign of Camille. They hoped to find her alive, but the police were likely aware that, like Layla, she could be seriously injured and in need of medical attention. If that was the case, every passing moment decreased her chance of survival. For the time being, though, her family was left in an exhausting state of limbo. The situation was made infinitely worse by rumors that Camille had been caught up in the shooting. Frustratingly, the police still had no concrete answers for her family. They had to hope that Chris, Rob, and Taj would ultimately provide an explanation. They got even closer when Chris continued with more of the story, but once again, the details started to get shaky.
Was the car driving whenever they got shot?
No, it was just like, it stopped, and then it kept going. Like, when I hopped out the car, it kept going.
Where did the car keep going when it kept going?
Like, into a dumpster.
Did you get back in the car?
Yeah, I got back.
I mean, did you want to get back in the car, or did you not? No, you didn't want to. Okay, what made you get back in that car? Explain to me that.
Because he had a gun, I thought he was going to get to shoot at me. Because if I was just with him, and if I was just with him, he just killed somebody, and he probably would kill me too.
On the contrary, Rob said that he was the one who jumped out of the car.
When he shot Layla, I got out the car because the blood started dripping. I ain't wanted to get on me.
Taj claimed the same thing.
I get out of the car, they still shooting because it was like 4 to 6 shots. I don't know exactly how many shots it was, but it was a couple shots, bro. So at this point, we hear this lady. This lady's over there like, I'm running. I'm trying to hide in the forest. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm trying to call
So they're just
everything. So
blaming each other at this point.
What's going on over there? He sees me, or I guess he ran back over there. Or I run over there, and he was like, hey, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, I'm just do what you tell me to do. I just want to go home. So
the only thing that this established was that at least one of the boys had gotten out of the car. But this wasn't news, as the woman who saw the car hit the dumpster also told police that she saw a male figure running around shortly after she heard gunshots and saw the crash. The detectives decided not to challenge the boys on this front for now, and pushed for the truth on more important matters instead. They started with Rob.
What happened to Layla? Where did they... I don't know. Taj threw Layla out the car and hopped in the driver's seat and started driving.
Rob said Taj repeated the process a short time later.
And Taj pulled body out the car, patted him down. The mechanic, he grabbed the mechanic, got back in the driver's seat, and drove off.
Was that next to Layla where she was pulled out?
No, it was in a different spot.
This made sense to police because the second crime scene, where Michael's body was found, didn't have much blood. There were, however, what appeared to be drag marks leading from the road towards the brush where the body lay.
Did you help take... I ain't touch nobody. I ain't touch a body. I ain't touch nothing. I swear to God, I ain't touch nothing. Once they was dead, I said, take me home, man. Take me home.
Yet Taj said that wasn't how it happened.
Rob drives. He pulled Layla out of the car. That's why she got left by the dumpster. He starts driving. He's driving. We go around the corner. He goes over to Sosa. Sosa had, I think, in his somewhere on him. So he pulled Sosa out of the car. He just dragged him over in some woods.
And were you driving the car?
No, I was not driving the car.
Yeah.
The detectives asked Chris similar questions.
Did you pull her out of the car? What is Rob doing during all this?
He was saying that.
What's he saying?
He was like, oh. He was like, go.
And what happened next?
And he drove all the way out there outdoor. He tried to put a thing in the river, but I think got stuck or something.
What thing are you talking about? The car. Okay.
Once again, the detectives already had information that would let them know if one of the boys was lying. The search of Forest Lakes Park had finally paid off, leading police to another grisly and tragic discovery. Taj picked up the story again to tell his version of what they did with Layla's car.
We get over here to this lake. It's dark as hell. 3-5 get out of the car. He got out of the car. Rob tells him, hey, start wiping everything down. So he started wiping everything down. He's wiping everything down. The door handles everything. He's wiping everything down. So after he started wiping everything down, Rob takes Layla's phone or Aunt Sosa's phone or whoever phones he found in that bit, threw him in the lake and watched him. Throw him in the lake.
The lake in question turned out to be 5.5 miles or 8 kilometers outside Forest Lakes Park, but police had no question that this was the scene they were looking for.
5
When
miles
they
out of
reached the lake,
Forest Lake.
they
That's
recovered the two
crazy.
phones from the water, which were determined to be Michael and Layla's. But this wasn't the only evidence they found. Taj attempted to explain what was found as he continued his story, starring Rob as the mastermind of the crime.
He tell people I get in the car, drive the car into the lake for whatever reason.
When the detectives asked Chris, though, he said he was nowhere near the car at that point.
Were you in the car when it was going in the river, or?
I was out. I was trying to run back to my house.
You were out of the car. What was Rob doing?
I don't know. I left the car back to my house.
What did he say he did with the car after that? I didn't ask all of that. I didn't ask that. What about the guns that were used? I don't know where those at either.
Oh, it's barely in the lake. Like when he drives, it might be the little 2 front tires in the lake. It might be a little bit more in the hood, but the back of the car, all that is still out of the lake.
That was exactly how the police discovered the car. What they found inside was more gruesome than they had ever anticipated. Back with Chris, he continued his tale.
Describe to me the clothes that you were wearing that night when all these bad things happened. What happened to them? Who wanted you to burn them? Did you have blood or something on them?
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Like Detective Bender said, we processed that car front to back, top to bottom, bottom to top 3 times. 3 days worth of actual forensic work, several forensic people. I don't think you could have sat anywhere in that car and not got blood on you.
I think it was something. Shoot, I'm standing over here scared as like I think it's blood all over me, but it's dark, so I don't know. But I think it's blood all over me.
Rob said burning the clothes was all Taj. Taj, of course, said it was Rob. Regardless of who had the idea, the police found the remains of clothing in a burn pile in the forest, including pieces of shoes, sweatpants, and sweatshirts. However, this was not the only clothing item the police discovered intact. Chris's shoes, which he described as Nike slides, were found discarded in the bushes, and a single glove was found near Michael's body. Another was found near the lake. The police asked Taj about this.
So were you wearing gloves at this time?
Yes, I was wearing gloves because, like I said, I was supposed to go
And
eat.
what about Rob?
Rob was wearing gloves too. Yeah, Rob was wearing gloves.
Taj revealed that the original plan was for the group to go car hopping that night, which was why he was wearing gloves and a ski mask. But police had to wonder if there was a far darker reason the boys brought these items. For now, the detectives wrapped up the conversation with Rob.
Did you feel a little better now that you were honest? Did you need to get that off your chest?
Worse. Now I feel like I just snitched on everybody and
The detective stepped out, but little did Rob know that his night at the police station was far from over. There was a lot more that he needed to fess up to, but for now, he was left alone with his mother.
Charge you.
because you went in there and you come forward. Did you come forward?
I'm talking about when it happened.
I just told you everything.
I'm just letting you know, bro. You don't
I'm gonna get
understand.
charged for murder. Mama, what was the point of snitching on everybody? If I was gonna get charged, why did you make me snitch?
I said I don't know.
Alright. What's the point of snitching?
We're gonna ask you to step out now.
Hey, Mama. Wait, hey, is my mama still here?
Yeah, she's still.
Wait, Mama.
Talk to me.
Can you see if they do charge me? Can you see if she can give me a lawyer? I didn't kill anybody.
Relax.
Can you ask her, please?
Rob waited, asking the detective stationed at the door several times to bring his mother back, but she had left to go back to work. Before she did, she informed police that she did not want Rob answering any more questions without a lawyer present. Rob was not on board with this plan.
How can I get charged for murder?
Listen,
Can you explain it to me?
hold on. We're taking your DNA, okay?
While the police took Rob's DNA, fingerprints, and photos, he continued to ask them how it was possible that he would be charged with murder.
Listen, can I tell you the situation, please?
Listen. Your mama's not here yet.
We can't talk to you.
She's close.
I don't know how far she got, but she is on her way.
Rob's interrogation might have been on pause, but the conversation with Chris remained in full swing. The questions he faced were about to get a whole lot harder.
They executed a search warrant on the house, which they did collect some things, and I'd like to talk to you about those things too. But because you, because it was like a surprise on that.
Yeah, like what was in my house that got to do with this homicide? And
I will, and I'm going to tell you about that because, like I said, I'm not going to leave anything out.
It's I can tell you it's pretty damning. I guess I would use that word.
So,
serious?
Do you own any firearms, ma'am? Does anyone in your home own a firearm? Okay, because I'm pretty sure they found one or two firearms in the house. And I'm sure you guys have watched CSI. Right? We can take a firearm, we can shoot it. That round that you shoot, we can take, and we can put it into a computer
And tell you what, who got
and actually compare it to other fired casings, like the shell from the bullet. So, how
you tell me who the guns from? How would you hold guns from when you know something that dumb just happened? That was stupid.
when Reaper gave you these, you think that they're going to be related to this?
I think so.
Describe to me why you think that.
Because he said, put these up, make sure you want no fun.
And the gun that you saw X-Man use, was it either one of those two guns?
I think it, right.
Meanwhile, Rob continued to wait. Eventually, the detectives did come back to speak with him, since he was insistent on saying more, even though his mother did not return to the station.
Alright, so, I explained to you what your mom said on the phone, right? She didn't want us to ask you any more questions about how well your brothers. You reapproached me a couple times. You said that you wanted to discuss some stuff further, right? I just want to make sure that we're clear that you don't have to answer a question. You don't have to talk to us at this point. But you stated to me that it's my case. I want to talk to you.
Because Rob's mom was no longer present, they read him his Miranda rights again. Right off the bat, he admitted to additional involvement.
Taj told me to help him pull the body out of the trunk and throw it in the lake.
Body in the trunk.
He's trying to pull a leg. He was like, "Bro, it's heavy. I need help." So I grabbed one leg
What?
and tried to help. I was like, "Bro, it's too heavy. I don't want to do this." Put the thing down.
Who was in there?
Because I told him I didn't want to help him. Like,
Rob went on to tell a long, rambling tale about selling his gun the day before the crimes took place. The detectives hear him out before dropping a bombshell.
That's an issue because we have that gun now.
that's fine.
It was at 3-5's house. You said you sold it.
I did. That's not my gun. That was my gun. That's
It's
not
the
my
same
gun.
gun.
In addition to this, the police strongly suspected Rob had stolen the firearm.
Lord have mercy.
I tell the truth that you didn't pull a trigger, but you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
I did not know this.
The detectives had a similar exchange with Taj.
We've sent some of the casings off to be examined already. It's not back, I'll tell you that. Otherwise, we would probably be having this conversation. That those casings aren't going to come back, like he said, to a third gun.
To a third gun, they shouldn't.
Multiple casings were found at all three crime scenes, but especially near the car at the lake. Even if the boys weren't budging on the issue of who shot who, lab tests would reveal the truth in due time. In the meantime, the detectives brought up something two of the boys in particular were probably dreading.
let's talk about the trunk. Trunk of that car.
Looking at the trunk, sir.
There's another part that we haven't talked about.
Trunk. It was a girl in the trunk. And he told me to open the trunk. He shot her.
Where did he tell you to open the trunk from?
Are you serious, right?
told me I was trying from the inside, like the inside. Okay.
And whenever you pulled that open, tell me about what you saw in there.
All I seen was luggage, and then he said, and he shot
Okay. You said all you saw was luggage?
luggage and like it was like a girl.
And what part of her body could you see? Could you see her feet, or hair, her hand? Describe to me
I
what.
seen hair. I did not even know it was another person in the trunk at all.
Okay. So you just riding around and she just in there?
Yeah, I mean, we rode around like that before, though.
Just because there ain't no room for all the people?
Just because there ain't no room for all the people.
When you go to open up that seat, what were you thinking in your head?
Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, I was confused. I was like, yo, like, I was thinking like there's a person back there.
Did this person say something? Describe to me what you heard whenever you opened that seat up. What noises?
All I heard was somebody tell me to watch out, and I heard gunshot. 2 gunshots.
Tragically, the third victim was determined to be none other than Camille. Her body was discovered 2 days after Layla was found on April 1st. Like Chris said, she'd been shot twice. The location of her wounds indicated that her death had been no accident. It was highly unlikely that Camille had been shot once in the back and once in the head by chance. As soon as she was identified, law enforcement made contact with her aunt Amy for a difficult conversation.
So you probably know why we're here, where we've been investigating the incident that happened Friday involving Layla and the other individual that was found deceased.
You know, it took us a little while because we couldn't positively identify her, so it took us a little while. But, you know, we're certain that it's Camille that is now deceased.
Probably to detective surprise, Amy remained stoic. As it turned out, she already knew Camille was deceased.
The grandpa of Layla actually came to my house when I found your card, telling me that Camille was deceased, and how are you doing is what he told me. They were talking about it at the hospital that Camille was deceased already. I had a mother call me at midnight last night that, my phone has not stopped.
While Amy tried to come to terms with the loss of her niece, the detectives at the police station asked Chris more about the specifics of Camille's murder.
What happened after he shot her?
He closed it, and we left.
How many times did he shoot her?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
I think once, twice.
What is it? Twice? Twice? Okay. Do you know what part of her body he shot her?
No, when I opened it, he heard everything, so I looked away.
As if this wasn't horrific enough, Taj put forth an even more disturbing version of events. Predictably, he insisted he was not the shooter. The culprit he named was spine-chilling.
Who folds the seat down?
3-5, because he was on the side, so he hops out of the car, right? He can get out of the car and flip the seat down. Boom. Hit her once. So he shot her.
Where did he shoot her?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't see exactly where he shot her at all. And then she's not dead yet. So Rob sees that and he shoots her to make sure she's dead. So Layla got 1 headshot and then Camille got 2 because she wasn't dead yet.
For once, Rob agreed with Taj, at least partially. Before his mom left the police station, he told this to the police.
It was 3-5 that did that. 3-5 dropped the seat and shot the girl, and he shot her in the head. And Ty's like, shoot her in the back, shoot her in the back. 3-5 dropped the back seat and he shot the girl. She was still alive. He's like, finish her. So he shot her again.
3-5, police knew, was Chris's street name. Still, something wasn't quite right. After getting this far, the police were not willing to accept anything short of the full truth.
Now, Reaper, Rob, there's a lot of similarities that are overlapping here, but there's definitely a discrepancy that Rob told us about what happened to the person in the trunk.
That he's trying to make him the shooter, right? Yeah, that's what y'all leaving out. I mean, be honest. We being all being honest here. Just be honest. Is he the shooter? That's what they're saying. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do is just say that. I mean, stop going around it.
I can tell you that he is not. You, Chris, are not being blamed for those people in the front seat.
In the back seat is what the trunk. It's the one that
we have some issues with the trunk.
I'm gonna keep it real about it.
Tell us.
Be honest, baby. It's okay.
You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better once you talk about what.
What's wrong? What's him?
know. So tell us what you did. He said he was gonna kill everybody I know. Yeah. Who made you do it? Who is it? Rob. Rob made you do it? Yeah. He said he gonna kill everybody you know. Well, who is the X-Man? I don't know who that is. Now, did you just calm down?
Yet again, Rob said something different. Before his mom left the station, he had shared this information.
Taj made him kill the person, or he was gonna kill 3-5.
Is that what he said? He told
He
him?
told 3-5, if you don't kill this girl, I'm gonna shoot you in your head.
Let's go on here. He said that he was going to kill everybody you know. If you did fire a gun, tell me about what you did. I think I shot the girl. I don't know where it was, but and then he came up and shot her too. Okay. No. Okay. So when you shot her, what gun did you use when you shot her? Ace dude gave me the Scott.
If Chris used Taj's firearm, that would explain why they only found 2 weapons during the search warrant. This brought up another question, though, which the detectives had addressed with Rob and his mom.
So that's my concern here, is that you said that Taj was pretty much orchestrated this and was concerned that 3-5 would snitch on him. So he made him
3-5 do that.
But you saying that he was completely fine with you not taking
he
any part of that?
Yes, with me, he just told me, if you snitch, I'm gonna kill you.
With his mom there, Rob insisted that he was innocent. Now that she was gone, though, the police hoped he might be more forthcoming.
I honestly don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. I know Taj, I've dealt with him, and I've dealt with you. And there's a reason I wanted to talk to you. Because I don't think you're that dude. I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. Taj, I don't know anything about 3-5. I've never met him. But I'm telling you that when the evidence says that you were there and that you shot someone, there is no explaining that.
Evidence is gonna tell you that I'm there, but all I can tell you is that I didn't shoot nobody.
Did you shoot Layla? Because I got information that somebody that was in the car had a thing for Layla, and he couldn't do it. So somebody else did it.
No,
Okay?
that's not true.
Your brother's talking. Is there any reason why he would be telling people if you shot one of those people? If you didn't do it?
Police likely used this as a tactic to get Rob to talk and hopefully reveal the truth.
That's smart.
Perhaps this was how Amy knew Camille was deceased before the detectives contacted her. In Chris's interrogation,
That's smart to do,
his
for them to
mother
reveal the
struggled
truth.
to terms with what he'd done.
You shot somebody that's dead, boy. What the this is a homicide. This is 3 people. This is something that's serious. You gonna kill my family. What am I supposed to do?
That's why.
I understand. That's what I'm trying to tell you in front of the
Chris, take a deep breath.
Just calm
Take a deep
down.
breath. Now listen to me. When you say that someone threatens your family and threatens you, I need to put it in the report. Take a deep
What am I
breath.
supposed to do?
I,
Please tell me, what am I supposed to do?
Chris's mom didn't have an answer to that. She asked one of the detectives if she could step out for a moment to compose herself.
He know where I live, and he knows my whole family. He was gonna kill my whole
Are you talking
family.
about Reaper? Or are you talking about Stalvo?
Reaper? You gonna kill my?
Let's talk about X-Men real quick. I think you know who X is, and I think you're scared of him. Rightfully so.
They both said they was gonna kill my family.
Okay.
They both said that? Did they ever point a gun at you or anything like that?
So that's a threat.
Who pointed a gun at you?
The X-Man. He's like, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Kill you, down. Kill your mom.
Rob also told the detectives that he and Chris were in serious danger at the time
That's
of
a
the crime.
serious threat to say to a 12-year-old.
Do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with
Are
him.
you
So were
kidding
afraid
me?
of Taj that night? Because
If I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
Taj is that bad a dude?
Bro,
Taj, on the other hand, claimed Rob always planned to let him take the blame.
If anything, if one of us go down in anything, Todd, it was you. You did it. Everything. You did it. Legit. You shot everybody in the car. It was not me. He got caught up. Then then you was gonna go find my mama. The whole night I did not have a gun.
Rob continued with his story, claiming that he only participated out of fear.
Did Taj tell you to put the gun to somebody?
Taj told me he told me he gonna kill Sosa. He wanted me to shoot Layla, and then he wanted 3-5 to shoot the girl in the back. I told him I didn't want to do it. He told me if I didn't do it, he was gonna kill me.
You hold the gun to Layla's head?
Yeah, but I tried to shoot it, but it clicked. I tried to shoot, but it clicked. Like, I didn't have it cocked back. I tried to shoot it, and it clicked twice, so then Stavo just did it himself. That's why. I'm thinking my gun wasn't coming back. Listen. I'm telling y'all the truth, and y'all still think I'm lying. Like, what I'm supposed to do, bro?
Okay.
So how long before he actually pointed the gun, he told you to shoot Layla?
We was already in the car. Like, he put it in his notes, showed me, and then deleted the note.
When was that in the night? How early? How much before?
That was like right before it happened.
Did you shoot that girl in the trunk?
In the trunk?
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't there.
3-5 shot that girl in the trunk.
Still, the police suspected something was being
That
left
long
out.
pause says otherwise.
Still moving after he shot her?
He said she was still breathing or something.
Who said that, X-Man or Rob?
Did you shoot the girl once or did you shoot her twice? I mean, it doesn't matter at this point.
I shot her once, and he shot her again.
Chris was talking about Rob. Thankfully, the police were finally getting somewhere with him, too.
He shot her once.
How many times you shoot her?
Once.
You shot her once? Where'd you shoot her?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. There ain't no question. There ain't no question where she was shot. You talk about one end to the other. Where'd you shoot her?
Just shot, bro. I seen her and I shot. Like,
Why?
because she was still alive. She was gonna snitch on us all. We was all gonna go to jail for life. I didn't want to do none of it. If I didn't kill that girl, Stavo was going to kill me. I swear to God. I'm looking at her in her eyes. She's dead.
Finally, the truth came out. Ballistics reports comparing shell cases found at the scene to the firearms found in Chris's house indicated a match. Whether or not there was a third shooter remained to be seen.
Are you sorry for what
I
happened?
am. I did not want it to happen. I never wanted that to happen. Like, I never wanted to kill anybody. I never wanted to shoot anybody. I never want any of that to happen. I just wanted to get a little bit of money.
The detectives made one last effort with Taj.
People already ended up there because of you guys' craziness.
No, not my craziness. It's not my craziness.
Were you going to rob them and it was like either you had to do what you had to do or a finger slipped and it scared everybody in the car and then it's too late at that point.
Yeah, I feel you, but
that makes more sense than the story that they're telling that you planned to kill these people. That from the beginning of the night.
I didn't shoot no gun.
We talked to Rob and we talked to Chris for hours. For whatever reason, one of them was more afraid of bringing you into the middle of this than they were Rob. So for that story that Rob's this guy that's, threatening everybody or his people threatening people or your people, I just don't see that.
But Taj remained stalwart, insisting that he had never used a firearm that night. The detectives hoped that unpacking one final secret could be the key to determining the truth about his involvement. They turned back to Rob to accomplish this. Like Chris and his mom, Rob was also given a jacket to keep warm in the cold police station. But he used it in a less typical way. Even as he tried to get comfortable in the interrogation room, one of the detectives returned to unpack a final secret to try to pull the case together.
The KTM, what exactly, what is it that you guys do? What is it?
This video needs to hurry up.
Like a gang?
No. It's the first time we did something for her.
So how many people consider themselves a part of KTM?
Few others. Me. Stavo. 3-5.
Rob's list went on, but he only had nicknames for most of the KTM members, not their real names. Notably, Michael, Layla, and Camille were not included.
I was the leader of it.
Chris was somehow even less willing to give up the details of KTM.
What's the deal with the KTM thing? Huh? know Reaper has the tattoo. What does it mean? Cutthroat? Cutthroat mentality? Does that sound right?
That's
what
crazy.
Exactly is that? Like just a made-up gang name? Or?
One of Michael's close friends eventually came forward, provided the police would keep his identity anonymous, and confirmed that KTM was indeed a gang. His description of their activities was chilling.
Bro.
Their mentality is a mentality that they'll do anything to you and not give.
Just to get the money?
Yes, just to get the money. Just to get what they want, basically.
With that, the detectives had all the information they needed to move forward with the case. It had taken 8 hours each to get the truth from Rob and Chris.
Wow.
The detectives stepped out, leaving Ashley and Chris alone for a few moments.
Listen, baby, listen. It's not over.
Yes, it is.
It's not over. It's not over. We just better pray and hope that the gun that you shot her with wasn't a murder weapon.
Ashley also had some devastating news to deliver that was sure to upset him further.
I'm gonna go to jail. That's when I leave him. On top. That's because I got one. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be trying to figure out something. I'm gonna try to get out of this. When I get out of here, I'm trying to get you home.
Ashley had a warrant out for her arrest.
What?
And in order to be with her son while he was interrogated, turned herself in to police. She was charged with possession of cocaine and methamphetamine.
Are
and taken
you
to county jail.
kidding?
Chris, Rob, and Taj were all
Cocaine and
taken to juvenile
methamphetamine?
detention. And on May 15th, 2023,
Oh my
a grand
gosh.
jury indicted all 3 boys. Preparations began to take the case to trial, where they will be tried as adults. Taj and Rob are both facing 3 counts of murder in the first degree because, tragically, Layla did not survive her injuries. She passed away just days after Camille's body was discovered. Taj also has been charged with robbery with a firearm, tampering with evidence, tampering with an electronic monitoring device, carjacking while armed, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and grand theft auto. Rob had a similarly long list of charges in addition to 3 counts of murder, including armed burglary, grand theft of a firearm, petty theft, robbery with a firearm, and tampering with evidence. Chris, meanwhile, was only charged with 1 count of murder for Camille, whom he admitted to shooting while she was in the trunk. The other charges against him were dropped, including grand theft of a firearm and burglary. However, he's now facing an additional charge of battery